Hey, okay, so this makes me kind of uncomfortable, but another question that has been coming up around the Return to Serenity Island is one of money and pricing. And so, as well as statements such as like, you're undercharging for what you're offering and you really should increase the price of the course, this question of why don't you charge more has been there. Now, I realize how that sounds. The purpose of this little video isn't to try convincing you that what I personally deem actually to be a decent chunk of money isn't actually much, but rather I want to just share my rationale behind the pricing that I put on the course. Is it a course? Yes, it's a course and more. Look at the previous video answering that question for more on that. But yeah, I've spent quite a bit of time in the Forest of Plenty, which is the area of Serenity Island where we think about our relationship with money and our financial well-being and that kind of stuff. And I've been thinking a lot about my limiting beliefs around value and the prices that I'm comfortable putting on things that I sell. I make no bones about the fact that it's been a struggle for me throughout my life. I've kind of picked up or developed a tendency to undervalue what I do on one level and feel uncomfortable asking for money, really. And I'm often surprised when people buy things and offer me money for what I do. And pricing for the Return to Serenity Island course was really no different. It's the result of careful consideration and really getting a sense of what I'm comfortable and easy with, uncomfortable but excited about, or uncomfortable and repulsed by. And I think these are three factors on the scale that I've been using to assess where I'm at in terms of how I want to price things like this. I guess I want to stay in that middle lane because it keeps me motivated and engaged. I'm uncomfortable enough to really care about what I'm doing and to be engaged in the process of it. And I feel excited about every person that signs up for the course. Another factor that is there as I'm sort of making these decisions is that of accessibility. I want as many people who hear about the course and feel a connection to it to be able to access it as possible. I don't want it to just be, and it's the same, with other things I do with my coaching and with the Haven. You see kind of hundreds, thousands of dollars being charged for things like that by other people. And when I see the prices of many courses and programs out there, especially when they're kind of limited to the online sphere, I get that repulsed, icky feeling, I'll be honest. And it kind of makes me wonder whether or not the person really believes in the value of what they do, of what they've created at the level of humanity, in terms of like, do you believe in it enough to really want people to actually access this and take it in and for it to sort of change the world in some sort of way, however small that might be? Or is it just a way to make money? And, if it is the latter, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, it annoys me when people pretend otherwise. One of the things that can irritate me is when people use the idea that if you charge higher prices, people become more invested and engaged in the results. If they've sacrificed a lot of money in order to sign up for something, then they're going to be more involved. So in a sense, you're giving them a gift by charging them loads of money for the thing. And there's obviously a truth in the fact that you're more likely to take something seriously or demand more from something and from yourself in the process of using something if it's cost you a lot of money, and that you kind of feel the pinch of that. But you never see someone kind of giving that back or passing on to a good cause the surplus between, what the course creator actually thinks the course is worth and that sacrificial extra that they've put on top of that to make the person more invested because that's what they believe is necessary. And so, yeah, until I see that, I'm going to just take that line of reasoning as a way to just extract more money from people, and I don't like it. It doesn't sit well with me. But yes, for me, this and everything I do has to be about more than money. And if that's the case, I don't want money to be an obstacle to those who resonate with what it is that I've created and what it is that I'm offering. Again, the three factors on that scale might apply to people considering signing up for the Return to Serenity Island course. Is it comfortable and easy? If so, you're probably going to sign up and forget about it. I've done that with loads of different things where it's like, oh yeah, that looks good. I'll sign up to that. But then you never sign in again after you've registered. If it's uncomfortable and repulsive, you're either not going to sign up in the first place, and then you're just going to see me as an untrustworthy grifter, or you're going to sign up and expect far more than I could ever possibly provide, and you're going to see me as an untrustworthy grifter. But if it's a bit uncomfortable, i.e. you notice that you've spent it, but you're able to absorb that, ultimately might take a little bit of tweaking of the weekly or the monthly budget, but you're going to really care about that and get excited to the point of engaging. That's what I really want. From my perspective, while it is a self-paced course that you can do completely on your own in your own time, if you choose, there are also opportunities and environments to connect through our optional Zoom gatherings for the first 6 weeks, and via email with me as well. And yeah, that's all a great way to stay motivated and inspired and encouraged along the way. And it's the stuff that I really enjoy as well. I love to see how things are kind of happening for people who are involved in the course and exploring the materials that are there. And yeah, to see the unique ways that it lands for people. The other thing people bring to the you're undercharging conversation is the question of hourly rates. And it always starts with like, how long did it take you to create this thing? And I've not done precise calculations, but I imagine it would be getting up to the region of about 1,000 hours that I've spent. I might even be underestimating. I'm not very good at estimating that, but it'd be around there. When I consider all the music that I've created for it, all the recordings that have come with that, the narrative meditations and all of that stuff, the website design, the course contents, and getting all of that working properly. So it takes absolutely friggin' ages. Admin stuff, promotional material, like everything kind of really adds up. There's a lot of time that has gone into it. I guess if you were to work out what I have earned from it on an hourly rate, it'd be probably a few pence or a few cents. And I'm glad that I don't view the world through that lens. It might make me a poor businessman, I don't know. But it does allow me the freedom to explore, to evolve, to expand things based on what feels good and right, rather than what is going to produce the greatest profit. And I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that I don't need revenue from this. I very much do. It's important for the sustainability of it and for the sustainability of me, which is another reason I need to charge for what I do. But I don't see my time as money, and I never want to. I will never judge my time in playful creative flow, which is what actually underpinned and gave rise to huge swathes of the development of this course, by how much it was worth financially. That to me is really depressing. It would be, I would say, my definition of hell if that was how I viewed everything and judged every hour that I spent doing anything. And I think it would also completely limit the possibilities around projects. It certainly would have around the Return to Serenity Island project. It would never have become what it is if I saw my time as money. In fact, the heart of the course itself is really a hope that we can find a way beyond these kinds of productivity, efficiency, linear, up and to the right paradigms that we so often view ourselves and others, and the way we use our time and the world in general through. And I really just desire to find our way home to the heart of our creative humanity so that we can develop a much healthier relationship with our values around work, around time, around relationships, around people, and productivity. So all that is to say, please be reassured, even if you believe that I'm undercharging for the course. It is considered. I have thought it through. The decision that I've reached puts me squarely in sync with my values, and the sense of vision that I carry, I suppose, generally for the type of world I want to be part of creating with the choices that I make. And if you believe I'm overcharging, I hope this explains why I have made this choice too. I haven't received that complaint, not specifically anyway, and not from anyone who's been through the Return to Serenity Island course. So, yes. Anyway, do you have any further questions about the course or about anything I've said here? Let me know. I'll try to answer it in a future video. Try and get it in before the doors close, if that's in any way possible, for our next voyage. So yes, you can check out to see whether it's open at the moment, and sign up if any of this feels good to you, which I hope it does. All right, I'll see you soon.